Hello everyone. In this session we will see phase shift of symmetrical components in star delta transformer bank. The three-phase transformers can be formed by using three single-phase transformers. If we are going to construct the three-phase transformer by using three single-phase transformers, then we need to know the phase shift and the polarity of the transformers. The phase shift can be determined by using the polarity of the windings. Depending on how the windings are wound on the core, we can determine the polarity of the transformer. There are basically two types of polarities we have. One is additive polarity and the another one is subtractive polarity. Now let us see what is meant by additive polarity and the subtractive polarity. What will be the phase shift in the additive as well as the subtractive polarity, and what are the applications of these polarities where we will use these kind of transformers. Let us have a look. Additive polarity. Before going to study about the three-phase transformers, first let us try to understand what is meant by polarity with respect to the single-phase transformer. The primary winding I am considering it as a HV winding. So I will mark this as a H1 and the H2, and the secondary winding we will consider it as a LV winding. Let us mark it as a X1 and X2. So why I am marking X1 and X2 instead of L1 and L2? Generally the manufacturers will specify on the transformers the terminals as H1 and H2 and X1 and the X2 value instead of L1 and L2 value. Now look at here, the dot I have marked here. If the current at the primary winding side, if it enter into the dot, the current in the secondary winding must leave the dot. If one current is entering the dot and another current is leaving from the dot, then that type of connection you will call it as a additive polarity. So in that additive polarity, what will be the phase shift between the primary voltage and the secondary voltage? Means you can see the waveforms here. This is the primary, this is the waveform with respect to the primary winding, and this is the waveform with respect to the secondary. This is the input side waveform, output side waveform. Okay, you can see here it is starting at the 0 degrees and it is going through the 0 crossing at 180 degrees, and this also same. So both are at in phase with each other. So the phase shift at this point will be equal to 0 degrees. So what does that mean? In the additive polarity case, the phase shift between the primary and the secondary winding quantities will be 0 degrees. Now where we can use this additive polarity? What are the applications of this kind of connection? Means we will be using these type of connections at power distribution transformers. Coming to the subtractive polarity, you can see here again let us mark the high voltage side as a H1 and H2 and the LV side as a X1 and X2. Now what is the case here? Now if the current entering in the primary winding and the secondary winding side also, if the current enters into the dot. So now what will happen in this case? In the previous case, both currents are in phase with each other. So this current was going like this and this current was also going like this. Both are in phase. Now what will happen in this case? Now you see with respect to the dot, the current is coming like this, and here also the current is entering. So these two currents are opposite to each other. So these two are out of phase. So therefore, if you look at the waveform, the primary voltage is represented by a sine wave, means the output is represented by a cosine wave. So it is exactly 180 degrees phase shift will be there between the quantities, the primary and the secondary, or the HV and the LV quantities. Now what are the applications of the subtractive polarity? Means these are used in the large power transformers as well as the instrument transformers. Now let us see the three-phase transformer configurations. By using the three single-phase transformers, in how many ways we can connect the three-phase transformers? Basically, we have four types of configurations. Those are two sets. You can consider the star star and the delta delta. The phase shift between these two. So wherever you see these type of connections, the star star connection or the delta delta connection, the phase shift between the primary and the secondary quantities will be either 0 degrees or 180 degrees. Now the two more connections, if you take the star delta and the delta star configurations, so the phase shift we are giving 30 degrees. That means the phase shift between the HV quantities and the LV quantities will be 30 degrees. In the next slide, I will tell you why we have taken the 30 degrees phase shift between the star and delta. Who has proposed this phase shift? According to the American National Standards Institute, the line voltage of the HV side leads the line voltage of the LV side by 30 degrees of the respective phases. Before this institute established, they used to design with a different star delta transformer phase shift. So 90 degrees, 30 degrees or different phase shift they used to design. Once this institute proposed the phase shift between the star delta transformer bank, we have considered this as a standard phase shift between star and delta. And now the design of the star delta transformer is coming up with the phase shift of 30 degrees only. Now we are in the symmetrical component concept. Now is it applicable for all the three sequence components or is it applicable for only one component? Means this statement refers to the positive sequence component only. They meant for the positive sequence components only. Now what about the negative sequence component? Means in the negative sequence component, the HV side quantities lags the LV side quantities by 30 degrees. That means the low voltage side quantities leads the high voltage side quantities by 30. It is just opposite. Now coming to the zero sequence, there won't be any zero sequence with respect to the line voltages. Here you can see the line voltage of HV side leads the line voltage of the LV side. Whenever you are talking about the line voltages, there won't be any zero sequence components present in the line voltages. We no need to talk anything about zero sequence quantities at all. Three-phase star delta transformer bank. Let us consider the star connected side as a HV winding and the delta connected side as LV winding. Now let us give the marking for all the three phases. HV side I am representing with the capital letters A, B, C, and LV side I am representing with small letters. Now this is A, B and C. So we are following the sequence. So A, C and the B. We know in the star connection the phase and the line voltages are not same. So now look at here. There are two windings which are marked in blue color and two windings are marked in red and two windings are marked in the green color. What does that mean? Let us represent the voltage across the each winding of the HV side. We know this is terminal A, terminal B and this is the neutral point and this is the C phase. The voltage measured between the phase A to the neutral point, which is called the phase voltage, that you can represent by VAN or you can say VA. So I am going to represent here the voltage across the A phase is VA, the voltage across phase B is VB and the voltage across the phase C is VC. Similarly, if you mark the current in the delta connections, the current flowing through the AB is IAB and the current flowing through the winding BC IBC and this current is ICA. Now we can observe here the winding AN and the winding AB both are parallel to each other and the winding connected between the C and the N terminals, and the winding connected between the A and C terminals are parallel to each other, and this winding and this winding parallel to each other. And dot convention is same here and here. We have represented the dot at the same position. So these quantities are in phase with each other. So whatever voltage measured across this winding is in phase with the voltage measured across this winding. So let us say the voltage measured across the AB is VAB. We can write three relations. First one, the voltage VA is parallel to the voltage measured across the A and B terminals. Phase B is parallel to the VBC. And third point, the VC voltage will be parallel to the VCA. Based on these relations, now we are going to get the phase shift with respect to the positive as well as the negative sequence components. I hope up to this it's clear. So one thing you should remember, whichever windings are represented in the same color, those two windings are parallel to each other, and the quantities which we are measuring across those windings will be in phase with each other. Relation between the HV and the LV windings. Now just now we have seen HV side voltages. If you consider VA, VB and VC, these quantities are parallel to the LV winding quantities VAB, VBC and VCA. That's it. So these are the relations we found from the three-phase star delta transformer phase shift of positive sequence components. Now let us draw the VA1 and the VB1 and VC1. So this is VA1. From the above relation, with respect to the positive sequence, we can write these equations as VA1 is parallel to VAB1 and VB1 is parallel to VBC1 and VC1 is parallel to VCA1. Similarly, with respect to the negative sequence, instead of the 1 subscript, you can represent with the 2, that's it. So which will indicate the negative sequence representation, VBC2, VAP2. So VC2 is parallel to VCA2. So these are the representations we are going to use in the positive and the negative sequence phasor diagrams. Now look at here. The VA1 is parallel to VAB1 and VB1 is parallel to VBC1. VC1 is parallel to VCA1. Now let us represent this quantity as VAB1, which is parallel to the VA1. We need to represent VBC1 vector, which should be parallel to the VB1. I can represent like this. So this is VBC1. Now similarly, VC1, without changing the position of these vectors, we should connect the delta connection system. That is what the idea of forming the delta connection system from the star connected phasors. So now I will give you a hint. So now here what I am going to do is, now look at here. Now you can understand the things in a better way. The three phasors only I have represented. This is VA1 and this is VB1 and this is VC1. Without changing the position of these vectors, however you have represented the star connection, you should not disturb the direction of the vector or the magnitude, anything. By using the same magnitude and the same direction, same position, by using these individual phasors, you need to form the delta connection. That's it. So how I am forming? This phasor I am bringing here and this phasor I am taking this side, so I can form the delta connection. So now what I am going to do? This VC1, so parallel to this I should take one more so that I can close this delta connection. That's it. So this is VCA1. Now you can see VA1 is parallel to VAB1. VB1 is parallel to VBC1 and VC1 is parallel to VCA1. So now we have satisfied all these three conditions. VA1 is with respect to the high voltage side. I need to get the relation between the voltages of the high voltage side quantities in terms of the LV side quantities. How to get this VA, VB, VC from this phasor diagram? First we should mark where the A, B, C points will come with respect to these three corners. The corner which is opposite to this AB terminals, whichever term is not present in this will come at that opposite corner. That is, this is C point and BC opposite to BC, this is A, and opposite to AC, this point will be B. Now to represent the phase quantities, we need to take the fictitious neutral point, or you can say the virtual neutral point. So basically the neutral point will not exist to give the phasor representation. We are assuming that there is a neutral point. Now we are going to represent the phasors. Now this is VA1, this is VB1. C terminal to the neutral point can be represented by VC1. That's it. Now how to check these components are having 30 degrees phase shift? So for that, let us mark the LV side phasor representations on the positive sequence diagram itself. I am going to mark the LV side quantities with the dotted lines. So the position you can observe here, in the same position I am going to mark. This is VA1, VB1 and this is VC1. Now you can clearly see what is the phase shift between the HV side. This is the HV side and this is the LV side winding. So this is 30 degrees. Similarly, you have a phase shift here 30 degrees and 30 degrees between the HV and the LV quantities. Therefore, in the positive sequence components, the HV winding quantities leads LV winding quantities by 30 degrees phase shift. Now let us see with respect to the negative sequence components. Now here I will represent, because I think now you can understand, this is a VA2 and let me mark this as a VC2 and this phasor as a VB2. So these are the with respect to the HV side. So let us mark VA2, VC2 and the VB2 values. Now similarly, we will follow the same rule. So that is VA2 is parallel to VAB2 and VB2 is parallel to VBC2 and VC2 is parallel to VCA2. So by using this is VAB2. So now what I told you, we should not change the position of the phasor, but we should form using these phasors only. You should try to form the delta connection. I am going to represent the VBC2 parallel to VB2 and the VCA2. VCA2 is parallel to VC2, VBC2 is parallel to VB2 and VA2 is parallel to VAB2. Now the corner points. So VCA2, this is B, VAB2, this is C, VBC2, this is corner A. Now let us represent the voltage with respect to the voltage side. So this is VA, so VC and this is VB. By looking at this phasor diagram, copy the VA2, VB2, VC2 positions as it is here. So this is VA2 and VB2 is like this. So VB2 and VC2 position is like this. So this is VC2. Can you see now? The LV winding is moving first, then the HV winding is following the LV winding with a phase difference of 30 degrees. Now everywhere you can see between the LV and the HV quantities we have 30 degrees of phase shift. So what does that mean? In the negative sequence, the HV quantities lags LV by 30 degrees phase shift. Therefore, we can conclude here the HV winding quantities with respect to the positive sequence will lead the LV quantities by 30 degrees, and in the negative sequence, the HV winding quantities are lags the LV winding quantities by 30 degrees. But we need to represent the phase shift with respect to the line voltages, not with respect to the phase voltages. If you look at here, this is the phase quantity, means obviously we will consider the LV side also as a phase quantity. But we need to represent in terms of the rated line voltages. Now we need to find out the relation between the rated line voltages of the star delta transformer bank. Let us consider the star delta transformer. I am going to assume the line voltage at the star connected side as a VL1 and the delta side as a VL, because I am considering the star as the primary winding and the delta connection as the secondary winding. So now, in a star connection, we know the line voltage is not equal to the phase voltage. Now let us consider the phase voltage as V phase 1. In delta connection, we know the line voltage is equal to phase voltage. So we can give V phase 2. We know the phase voltage is equal to line voltage by root 3. Now I want to represent the line voltage of my secondary side in terms of the line voltage of the primary side. Then only I will get the rated line voltage relations between the star and the delta connection. Now we know to relate those two quantities, we need the transformation ratio. We know the transformation ratio K is equal to N2 by N1, that is equal to V2 by V1. This can be represented as V phase 2 by V phase 1. From this, you can get V phase 2 is equal to N2 by N1 into V phase 1. The line voltage VL2 is equal to phase voltage of the secondary side. Just now I have got the relation, the phase winding with respect to the secondary side is equal to N2 by N1 into V phase 1. What is the relation for V phase? We have got the relation V phase 1 is equal to VL1 by root 3. So let us substitute here. This will be VL1 by root 3. So now what I want to represent? I want to represent the star connection in terms of the delta connection. So now you can say, now I want to represent VL1 in terms of VL2. So therefore, VL1 is equal to root 3 times of, if you send this and this term this side, you will get root 3 N1 by N2 into VL2. So now what we have got here, this VL1 is nothing but VA1 is equal to root 3 times of N1 by N2 into VA2. So this factor will relate the rated line voltages with respect to the star and the delta side. Finally, we got the relations VA1. So that is root 3 times of N1 by N2 into the rated line voltage on the secondary side, that is LV side. The phase shift is 30 degrees with respect to the positive sequence. And with respect to the negative sequence, root 3 times of N1 by N2 VA2 at an angle minus 30 degrees volts. So the unit is volts. Suppose if these voltages are given in per unit, in the per unit calculations, we will be assuming the base value for the entire system. So you can represent in that case VA1 is equal to VA1 at an angle 30 degrees and VA2 is equal to VA2 at an angle minus 30 degrees per unit. So this is about the phase shift of the star delta transformer bank. Similarly, you can understand the delta star configuration. So here delta side will be the HV side and the star side we will consider it as a LV winding. So if you derive the similar equations, the relations will hold good. So whether it is a star delta or the delta star bank, the HV side windings should lead the LV quantities by 30 degrees, especially in positive sequence quantities. So I hope it is clear. Thank you.